Jinwoo held up his shield tightly and got ready for Vulcan's attack. Vulcan swung its club down hard 3 times with loud thuds. Even though he couldn't catch his breath during these non-stop hits, Jinwoo stayed calm and stood firm. His gear helped by reducing the damage he took and giving him more endurance to keep going. When his attack didn't work, Vulcan angrily swung its club even harder. Bam! 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 Jinwoo's knees bent, but he didn't fall. Still, it would take more than this to defeat the big creature. His brow furrowed. Cerberus's rage skill had been stronger but only lasted for a short time, while Vulcan's rage skill wasn't as strong and could be used forever. That meant Jinwoo had no clue how much longer he'd be stuck in this situation. Damn! Damn! Jinwoo clenched his fists. Fighting like this wasn't really his style. He didn't usually just sit back and take hits. Bam! As soon as Vulcan pulled the club back to get ready for another swing, Jinwoo saw his chance. He sprang toward Vulcan's head. But he wasn't the only one waiting for an opportunity. Vulcan leaned back just as Jinwoo jumped. What happened? The club was heading towards him from the side. It had fooled him. His hands found nothing to grab, and his feet had nowhere to land. There was no way to avoid the attack in midair. Even if he blocked it, he still had no idea where he would end up after being thrown from the impact. Plaibu, Jinwoo watched as the club came closer in slow motion. He wondered if there was anything he could do. Is there anything he can do? If only he could move, he might dodge the hit. But then an idea struck him. What if he tried moving his body? An idea popped into his head. No time for complicated plans. So he quickly used Ruler's hand to push Vulcan. But Vulcan barely budged. Ruler's hand wasn't strong enough to push someone as big and heavy as Vulcan. That was enough to push Jinwoo back. Fu whoosh. The club barely missed him. Yes. Jinwoo fell to the ground, but was okay compared to what could have happened. Phew. Jinwoo got up and sighed with relief. Vulcan's face still looked angry. Jinwoo looked upset. Because his strongest move missed. He frowned as he saw Vulcan's face turn bright red. What should I do now? Vulcan could easily dodge Jinwoo's direct attack. Also, it didn't seem like Jinwoo could deal serious damage, unless he hit Vulcan's head because of the thick layers of flesh all over its body. I need to find a way to make sure Vulcan can't avoid my attacks. Suddenly, Jinwoo had a good idea. A sly smile spread across his face. He turned around and ran fast. Vulcan thought Jinwoo was trying to get away and started chasing him. The thump. Jinwoo kept a steady pace, so Vulcan could stay close. His eyes sparkled when he found the right building. That one, meanwhile, Vulcan caught up to Jinwoo and raised its club. This bug-like creature, it was finally going to get rid of that annoying pest. A creepy grin spread across Vulcan's face. Just as it was about to swing its club, the bug creature darted forward and scrambled up the side of a partly fallen down building. Wait, what? Vulcan felt something was off, but couldn't stop in time. The pest climbed up to Vulcan's eye level, and then kicked the wall hard. Crack. The sound echoed as Vulcan watched cracks spread quickly across the wall. Then something moved toward Vulcan faster than anything it had ever seen before. The demon's eyes widened in shock. Jinwoo stared back at Vulcan with a confident grin. He swung Barca's dagger and cut a bulging vein in Vulcan's neck. Blood sprayed out in a big burst. Vulcan dropped its club and tried to press on the wound to stop the bleeding. But it wasn't enough. The blood kept pouring out, no matter what Vulcan did. Vulcan started to panic. Wait a minute. Jinwoo had already climbed onto the creature's back, and began stabbing its neck with his 2 daggers. One hit wasn't enough. Jinwoo pulled out the blades and used his skill again. Fatal strike, he shouted as the daggers plunged into Vulcan's neck once more. Sheesh kak. Sheesh kak. Finally Jinwoo got the message he had been waiting for. Ping, you have defeated avaricious Vulcan Lord of the lower floors, you read. You gained 1,500,000 experience points. All demon souls inside Vulcan's stomach were released. You got 72 demon souls. You leveled up again. Boom, Vulcan collapsed to the ground. Jinwoo stepped out of the dusty air, and looked around. He was heading to meet his soldiers, but saw they were almost done too. Prissy. Kick-tack. Prissy. His soldiers' fighting skills were making Vulcan's minions quickly get smaller. Jinwoo checked the stats window. He had plenty of energy and mana because he had just leveled up. Since I have a lot of mana, the others don't really need to help me. With enough mana, these shadow soldiers could keep fighting forever. This showed how strong an army of undead could be. Jinwoo told his soldiers to handle the remaining demons as he gathered treasures. It felt exciting, like unwrapping presents. Seeing Vulcan's lifeless body brought a grin to his face. What treasures would he find this time? The corpse glowed with small dots of light. Jinwoo reached for them, and received messages about the items he had gotten. He got a message saying, "You have discovered an item called Demon Monarch's earrings. Do you want to take it?" Another message said, "You have discovered an item called Sphere of Avarice. Do you want to take it?" Jinwoo also found 2 Vulcan's horns, and got the same question about taking them. Jinwoo defeated Vulcan and got a message saying he found something called a World Tree Fragment. He was curious about what else he got. Jinwoo looked at his items and saw that Vulcan's horns were probably things he could sell for gold. But then he noticed the most important item, the World Tree Fragment. This made him very excited because it seemed really valuable. Jinwoo found some things. He wondered what they were. Could he use them to make something, or did he need them for a quest? He had never seen anything like this before. To find out more about them, he needed to pick one up first. So he decided to take all of them. "Except all," he said. The glowing objects turned into items, and appeared at Jinwoo's feet. There was a pair of earrings, a red ball, and a big piece of wood as large as a grown-up. As soon as Jinwoo saw the wood, he knew exactly which piece it was. Jinwoo looked closely at the wood, and its info appeared. Material item World Tree Fragment Acquisition Difficulty. Category Material. This purified wood came from Vulcan's club. The club was made using a branch taken from the World Tree. The wood from the World Tree has strong magic powers, and is used to make powerful magical items. Is this wood an ingredient for making advanced magical tools? Jinwoo wondered what he could create with it, but that was all the information the description provided. It was definitely a very special discovery. He could feel an intense energy just being near it. I'm not sure what the best use of this would be. He sent the World Tree fragment straight to his inventory instead of selling it at the shop. Following that, he looked up the info for the other items. One by one. Item Demon Monarch's earrings. How hard it is to get this type of item. Accessory strength 20, stamina 20. If you wear this item with Demon Monarch's necklace and Demon Monarch's ring, you get extra benefits. First benefit revealed, when all 3 are worn together. The Demon Monarch's earrings had similar effects to the A-rank Warden's collar. They gave bonuses like strength and stamina boosts of 20 points each. Even better, they had extra hidden bonuses when worn together. With 5 ability points per level up, it felt like gaining 8 levels at once. Jinwoo happily grabbed the earrings. A message appeared asking if he wanted to wear them. Jinwoo equipped the Demon Monarch's earrings, and they disappeared like before. His stats went up and he smiled at the improvement. He thought the rest of the accessories must be nearby, since their names hinted they were from the demon's castle. What could the special item bonuses be? Jinwoo was thrilled, even with just one piece of the set. But his excitement did not last long. What was this? Item Spear of Greed. Acquisition difficulty hard. Category magic tool. This sphere is made from the hardened blood of the archdemon Vulcan. It increases magic effects and causes more damage. Buff appetite for destruction. This doubles the damage caused by magic. The red orb was about the size of a billiard ball. Jinwoo held the Sphere of Greed in his hand. His abilities stayed the same. He checked his special skills, but there was no change in the number of shadows he could control or keep. Maybe this isn't helping me, Jinwoo thought. Doubling magic damage would be a huge advantage. Tools to make magic stronger were super pricey, so few mage hunters could afford them. Jinwoo had never heard about a tool that doubled power no matter how expensive it was. If such a thing existed, it would be all over the news, and he definitely would have heard by now. But according to the description, the Sphere of Avarice, or whatever it was called, could double magic damage. Either way, if he couldn't use it, what did it matter? Jinwoo felt annoyed about it. If the item only doubled magic damage and did nothing else, it didn't affect him at all. Jinwoo sighed as he played with the Sphere of Avarice. Collecting shadows wasn't about fighting or casting spells, and none of his other skills were magic related. He really wished this sphere did something more useful, like making him smarter. His shadow soldiers came back one by one after finishing their jobs. Igris was the first to return. He held 3 demon heads in each hand, and handed them to Jinwoo. Jinwoo scratched his head, feeling frustrated as he looked at Igris kneeling before him. "Can you stop that?" Igris didn't say anything, keeping his head down respectfully, because when you do that, Jinwoo glanced at Iron, who had cut off Vulcan's head, and was dragging it back to give to Jinwoo. "See, he's copying what you did." Jinwoo was the one who had actually killed Vulcan. The hunter let out a deep breath as he looked at Iron. Then an interesting thought came to him: can my soldiers use the sphere of avarice the way I used Iron's shield earlier? Just then Jinwoo saw the mage soldiers who were moving slower than both the knights and infantry soldiers and were falling behind the infantry. Jinwoo called over the first of the 3 mages who had arrived. The mage in black robes tried to hurry to him, but Jinwoo thought it would be quicker to go himself. Shaking his head, he walked over to the mage, and handed him the sphere. He pointed at the building he had climbed before. Since he could control the shadow soldiers whenever he wanted, he didn't need to give them any orders. He signaled, "Fire." Suddenly large fireballs shot out from his hand. Wow! Jinwoo couldn't believe what he was seeing. Before Jinwoo could even react, a fireball shot out of the mage's hand. Whoosh! Boom! Jinwoo's jaw dropped in shock. The fireball burned down the building, as if it were made of paper. Even after the building was gone, the flames kept spreading. Crackle! Crackle! Jinwoo watched the flames while quickly taking back the sphere of avarice from his minion. He carefully read its description again. There was nothing about it. He read it over and over but found no rule saying he couldn't give the sphere to someone else. Could he sell it to another person? Jinwoo swallowed hard. His eyes turned back to the burning building. Whoosh! Another section of the building crashed down with a loud noise. Jinwoo couldn't stop grinning as he watched the scene unfold. Wow! This must be amazing for mage hunters. Don't you think? Earlier disappointment in his eyes had given way to excitement and hope. It was a sunny afternoon. A middle-aged woman said. The young man from 9. Well, I haven't seen him in a while. Ah, I see. Thank you then. Kichul bowed to her. He had been waiting for Hunter Sung near his apartment building for 3 days now. Not once had he seen Jinwoo. He'd brought his homemade vegetable drink each day in vain. Kichul sighed deeply and pulled out his phone. Ring. The person on the other side picked up shortly. Ah. Kichul? It was Manager N. It was Songman. No sign of Hunter Jinwoo Sung. Sir. His neighbors say they haven't seen him in a while. Really? Yes, sir. There isn't anything we can do then. Just come straight to the office starting tomorrow. Understood. Click. Sangmin hung up the phone and thought about it. Where had Jinwoo gone? Sangmin hadn't been able to reach him for a few days now. He had sent Kichul to check on his apartment in case the hunter was not answering his calls, but he hadn't been seen there either. Suddenly Sangmin worried that something might have happened to him, although why should I even worry about him? In any case, he felt uneasy. Tap tap, someone tapped him on the shoulder, and he turned to see Heejin standing there. Seems like he told his sister he was going on a trip with a friend for a week. Are you talking about Hunter Sung? Yes. Then, that means he's nowhere to be found. Heejin's eyes widened. Sangmin quickly explained. There is no record of him leaving the country and his bank account and credit card have not been used for several days. You can check that stuff. It's my job to monitor hunters after all. Oh wow. Also according to the association they last tracked his cell signal somewhere in the middle of the city. That was 5 days ago. Isn't that strange? Do you think he's been kidnapped?
Heejin asked.
They looked at each other and then started laughing. Jinwoo kidnapped? He was a hunter who had cleared a tough red dungeon all by himself. Sangmin scratched his cheek and replied. It would need to be at least a top team of soldiers to bring in Jinwoo. Heejin agreed with that. Sangmin then asked her, how did you know he went on a trip? She replied, I heard it from Songji. We still talk sometimes. She goes to the same school as Jinwoo's sister, so I asked Songji to find out. I see, they said. Then their conversation stopped because both of them were thinking the same thing. Where could he be? The upper floors are totally different. Jinwoo remembered avaricious Vulcan, the only boss monster he had met so far in the demon's castle. Its title had been Lord of the Lower Floors. After the 50th floor where he was stationed, the difficulty increased a lot. Before he could clear at least 10 floors in a day, sometimes even 20. Now he struggled to clear 7 or 8 a day. He stood on the 74th floor. High-rank demons were everywhere, and sometimes he even faced top-rank demons, which were much bigger than those on lower floors. Chunk. A top-ranked demon as tall as a two-story building slowly fell to the ground with a dagger in its chest. Thud. You have defeated a top-ranked demon. You have earned 1,700 experience points. You have obtained 1 demon soul. Jinwoo pulled Barca's dagger out of the dead demon's chest. That was the last one on this floor. Another battle had ended. The successful shadow soldiers gathered around Jinwoo. He checked his troops. They seemed tired, even though they were undead. The monsters on these upper floors were very strong. The last battle was easier because no archdemon showed up. These are like super tough bosses in a game. This wasn't just an idea with no proof. After defeating Vulcan, he got something called the Sphere of Avarice. The description said it was made from the solidified blood of the archdemon Vulcan. If archdemon meant Vulcan's level, then the ones on higher floors weren't any different either. Archdemons started showing up more often after the 70th floor. The monsters getting stronger is bad enough, but there was an even bigger issue. As Jinwoo went higher, everything around him changed. Every city beyond the 51st floor was burning. As he climbed higher, the fires grew stronger. From the 70th floor up, the heat was so intense that just standing there made him feel weak. Every small move made him even more tired. He was exactly right to call the demon's castle a flaming fortress. I need to go down. That was enough for this attempt. He needed a way to stop the fires. He wanted an object that could fight against fire magic. The gear used by top hunters was really pricey, especially items with protective magic. He once saw something on the news that cost tens of billions of won. Even though he made a lot of money working with Jinyo, he still worried if he could afford what he needed. That's why he needed insurance. Selling this should pay for it. Jinwoo smiled as he thought about the sphere of greed stored safely in his inventory. It was an item that every mage hunter would desire. I wonder how much money he could make if he sold it. If he could show how good it was, top-level magic hunters would want it right away. He closed his inventory. His goal for this quest had been to level up, which he had done successfully, so he wasn't disappointed about having to wait to finish the dungeon, but there was still something that bothered him. Jinwoo looked high into the air. He had gathered 960-24 demon souls so far, only about 400 more to collect. If Jinwoo could gather a bit more, he would finish the quest. It was day 6 and one more day should be plenty of time to finish everything. The best part about being on the upper floors was that Jinwoo could get many souls from defeating one demon. He realized he could gather 400 more in no time. Let's just finish this and leave, Jinwoo told himself as he turned around. Jinwoo walked with energy, because he knew exactly what he wanted to do. Floors 1 to 74 were now open. The voice said, "Where would you like to go next?" Jinwoo stood in the middle of the teleportation circle, and smiled. This was amazing luck. He said, excitedly, "Floor 75. Jinwoo smiled widely as he watched the monster standing guard near the teleportation circle. This monster was called Mitas, Guide of Souls. Just from its name, Jinwoo knew it was a boss monster. Its black robes and silver necklace made it look different from the others. That must be the demon monarch's necklace he had heard about. Jinwoo's come here just to finish his quest, but now he might also get another piece for his collection. Still, that wasn't why he was smiling. Whether he had good weapons or not, didn't matter if he couldn't defeat the creature. Jinwoo gripped a dagger in each hand and rushed ahead. The skeleton mage, wearing a black robe, noticed Jinwoo approaching. Ping! Midas, the Guide of Souls, detected an enemy. As expected from such a powerful monster, it quickly began casting a spell. A red glow formed under its feet, surrounded by a swirling dark mist. Midas, Guide of Souls, used a skill called Cursed Voice. Thousands of undead warriors rose up, answering Midas's call. Most people would have been scared, but Jinwoo stayed calm, even when he was surrounded. I knew this would happen. He had expected everything. The air grew dark with a strange cloud spreading everywhere. It was clear what kind of creature Midas was. His name alone told us he was the spirit guide. Just like Jinwoo had thought, Midas called forth a group of shadow soldiers. Luckily, Jinwoo knew exactly how to handle this. "Arise," he shouted. From the shadows, figures began to emerge with a loud cry. They were a few hundred strong. Jinwoo's group was much smaller than Midas's army, but they didn't need numbers because they had something better: real warriors. Make way. Soldiers appeared from Jinwoo's shadow. These were his true fighters. While the few hundred soldiers Jinwoo had brought out to fight, kept the enemy busy. He led his main army forward. They cut through the undead with ease, heading straight for one target. Igris and Iron took the lead, smashing through the undead quickly. The distance to meet us got smaller in an instant. This is close enough. Jinwoo darted forward. Dash. Skill dash has leveled up. Because he had run so much inside the demon's castle. Dash leveled up again. Nice. Jinwoo grinned. After escaping the approaching undead army, Jinwoo quickly faced Midas. He stared the creature straight in the eye. Not what you expected, huh? Jinwoo seemed calm and confident, as if he had already won. This made Midas flinch.